No, yeah. Well, I hope that was a nice start to the video. Good afternoon, YouTube again. I guess this is part 2 of the part 1 of its... You maybe saw the clip on my little snippet part of the channel. Whatever. I don't know what you want to call them. Shorts. Or maybe it was just a picture. I don't recall. Whatever. So yeah, you saw it start up the first time. That was after an oil change... an oil pan replacement, as well as an oil change, as it didn't have any oil in it for quite obvious reasons. Don't worry about that's just a piece of scrap I threw in there. But yeah, it's got a big old crack and a big old hole. Has I suppose this is upside down. Oh, you can see it good enough. The subframe got hit really freaking hard, and it... Oh, now the forklift's sitting on it. Oh my gosh, that thing's leaking. Oh, my project list just keeps growing relentlessly. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so yeah, it got smushed, hit the oil pan, cracked it. All-wheel drive oil pan is pretty proprietary to the all-wheel drive, as the drive shaft runs through the oil pan right behind my foot there. So I got a brand new oil pan, OEM, on there. It was like 250, 60, 80, I don't remember. Less than 300 bucks. Put that on there, and now we're golden. Today I picked up a K-frame, aka a front cross member, or whatever you want to call it, subframe. Got that installed today. I'm not going to say things are permanent and they're finished, because they're not. Well, we'll get it up in the air. I'll show you what all I did. Let's hold on a second. Alright, so now it's in the air. Now, I just got it set down on its tires. Finally. It's been waiting a minute, and of course, just as I start the video, the fucking dehumidifier going to turn on. Hopefully you can still hear me. So here's our new pretty cross member that's not smunched, crunched, whatever. Got our power steering lines back in place. It has an electronic power steering pump, and as it's dripping on the floor in front of me, the power steering reservoir of the said pump is broken. Ooh, shit, I didn't see that. We'll have to brake clean that off or something. There's some dirt in there. We'll clean that out, hopefully. I had unplugged it, so it's not running or anything. Once I realized what that was, I knew something over in this corner was leaking oil, just turning the wheel and stuff, and well, now I know why. But I was doing the front subframe and moving it around after I got it home. But anyway, subframe seems to have fixed the majority of my alignment issues with this corner, as this was the most impacted corner. The wheel, I have not turned the wheel. I do not have power steering. I shouldn't say, I turned the wheel in the air with the tire, suspension fully relaxed. So obviously now it's up closer. We'll see if it's got proper. Maybe I should just measure from here to here or something on the other side and see if it's close. But I believe I should be able to turn the wheels now, where before you could see where the tire was rubbing paint off, is the tire was set back, almost touching that just straight, with the tire straight. So that makes a world of difference. But I mean, this is so easy to install on here. I mean, if anybody ever complains about pulling the K-frame on this all-wheel drive V6, I mean, you need to quit your bitching. I don't know who would. I'm just saying, if anybody does, this is cakewalk. I mean, my gosh, you just unbolt the frickin' rack, let it hang, and unbolt the lines, take the ball joints loose, the struts and the sway bar link, and drop her down. It's obviously support the engine, but anyway, that got hot quick, didn't it? It's not finished. Like I said, I have not tightened everything. I have to do lower control arms. The bushings are 100% shot, and I mean, you can practically pull the metal sleeve out of the bushing. They are shot. This side, I expected that. This side had the impact. This side, I did not expect it, and it's identical. Besides the fact the ball joint's just a bit gamey, so we'll have to get new control arms. This is the one sucky part about all-wheel drive V6 chassis here. Those lower control arms, those ball joints are non-replaceable. It is a one-piece unit. That is a very expensive control arm, even on Rock Auto. I believe the OEM control arm is about $560 per side. So there is another brand. There's only 2 options on Rock Auto right now. The other option is like $120 a side. And I think you know which one I'm going to go with. I mean, I'd love to do OEM, but I'm not spending $1,000 plus just on control arms. Mercedes, aka Chrysler, quit smoking crack, please. Idiots. Anyway, oil pan's not leaking. That's always a bonus. Granted, it's got like 30 seconds of runtime total, but all the major stuff's tightened down. The differential transfer case, all that fun stuff. That stuff's tightened down. I just don't have the rack, the struts, and I don't have the sway bar on here yet. I have to practically cut the sway bar mounting bushings brackets off of this other cradle in order to get the sway bar free, and then I'm hoping there's no damage to the sway bar, because obviously this is the side that took the hit, and I can only get that side up. I can't get a nut on that, obviously, and this side got pushed back just enough to where I can't get at that nut with a socket, so I'll have to hacky-cutty some stuff. I'll probably just pry this one back, but this one I'll have to bend or hammer or something. Just take the Sawzall, I suppose, trim it up and flip it over. I'll have to get some new brackets and new bushings and all that happy jazz. But I mean, it's just a lot better alignment now on the passenger side. I'm happy. I should be able to turn the wheels. Obviously, I had said in a previous video, I'll take it to the body shop, or the body shop, whatever. Have them put it on the frame rack and see if anything needs to be pulled out, and how much that may cost these days. Hopefully, if it does need it, it is very minimal and it won't cost me $3,500. That's the deciding factor. So this car, I think I could probably clear 7 on it to sell it, because it is pretty doggone clean. I do have to get the wheels straightened if I can straighten them. Looks like my rear alignment's off. Look at that. Didn't surprise me. Oh yeah, it is. Oh yeah. Can you tell? Can you tell? Not really. Tires like that in person, that's really off. Holy, what's really going on here? What is really going on here? Do I want to know? Not really. Not really. Huh. Well, there's only 2 arms responsible for said alignment. I do not see any major catastrophic bends, breaks, or anything of the sort. That's not good. There's no smoking gun here. Why is that? Can they do an alignment on this? Is there anything adjustable back here? Oh, shit. I don't know why that wasn't noticeable before, but it is very noticeable now. This side's okay, I think. This side's definitely not. I just find a little more. That's just how these projects tend to go sometimes. I just find a little more here, a little more there. Oh, joy. Joy. But hopefully there's an adjustment. I doubt it. But you never know. Probably not that much if there is. Anyway. Oh, joy. Anyway. I'm going to pretend I didn't see that back there and just enjoy the victory for today. It runs, it drives. I don't have a radiator in it yet. I could have picked up a used radiator for it, but they wanted $150. I am doing this on a budget. New radiator in Rock Auto is like $86, something like that. So I'm not paying double just for a used radiator that looks like dog shit. So I'll buy a new radiator, stick it in. Obviously, it's not OEM, but it's a brand I've used and I've had good luck with, so I trust it to do the job. I mean, the car's got 194 on it. I mean, what do you expect, right? It's not. I'm not going all new OEM stuff. It's like the upper and lower core supports. There'll be Amazon specials, as they are cheaper, far cheaper than ordering them from a salvage yard. That lower frickin' core support. I think some places online like $100-$150. I can order it for less than $30 online. You guys are smoking crack. That one's actually metal, but it's like tin. It's just super duper easy to manipulate, and it's a little more dicked up than I want to mess with trying to pull it out and all that stuff. So I'll just unbolt it, put up a new one, call it a day. But the upper one unfortunately got broken underneath the headlight over here somewhere, right there. So that's a $200 piece of plastic. That one sucks, but I can order it on Amazon. $160 or $176, I think it was, with tax and shipping, or no shipping, free shipping. Anyway, so I'm pretty happy. The engine runs good. We'll have to check tranny fluid level. There is a whine of some sort. I don't know what, because there's no belt hooked up. I do need an alternator. I'll try to pick up a used alternator. The bearing's about seized. That was my very first start video. You heard that. So, yeah. So, yes, I went a little thick with the silicone. Oh, to the well. Because on the Mercedes, which is in the back of the shed at the moment, I siliconed that with just a fine layer. I wiped down with my finger, and I'm not gonna say it was paper thin. It was generous, because I knew that was the only gasket in there, but it wasn't as much as this, and I ended up with a leak. I was like, of course. But it also may be the lower pan might be cracked. I'll have to probably order a different pan for that to get that to be leak free up top, or on the bottom, and then up top I ended up with a valve cover leak on that, which sucks because that's an upper and lower valve cover, and that I already siliconed those, so it's like, are you kidding me? I tried to be conservative, and this is good silicone, and then it leaks. No, I'm done being conservative with it. I'm not going gung-ho. I mean, you could expect a lot worse than that from, it looks worse than it is, but it literally just spit out and coiled down, so it's not that thick. But, it's too thick. I can already hear people. Just don't. It's not your vehicle. Don't freaking worry about it, right? So anyway, I just, I got to get wheels straightened. If they can be straightened, that is the dilemma at hand. Obviously, they hit something, and then I was whacking on it. Because when I went to pick the car up, this tire was flat, or almost completely. I don't remember. I tried putting air in it. It was barely taking air, and then I heard it pissing, and then I looked back there and saw it was massively bent. So I had a sledgehammer with me, just because I knew I was going to be swapping a couple of tires, and I didn't want to have to swap this one because that one was flat, and I just already had two inflated tires and rims with me. I just freaking wanted to swap them out, and I already had to do this one, I think. This one, I know for sure, and then that one, and then this one. I was like, fuck it, it was a lot worse than this, and I whacked her down with the sledgehammer enough to where it quit pissing audibly. And obviously it's still holding some air, not a lot, but it's still holding after about 2.5, 3 weeks. So But yeah, almost every single rim needs to be straightened, which is rather annoying. That's $95 a pop. And then I got to try and figure out which rims do I want to straighten, because like this one is in pretty good shape. There's a little rash there, but nothing too bad. This one's actually, is this one? This one's actually, that one's got a little rash there too. Little rash. This one's got some clear coat issues, smidge of a rash, but that one would be decent if they could straighten that one. You know, but this one's got a lot. Like, they were drifting it and hit a freaking curb. This is one of the 4 that I bought, and so is that one. So I bought, some guy on Facebook was selling 4 of them. One of them was cracked out of the gate. He told me that. I knew that. That was part of the deal. I'm like, oh, I only need 2 anyway that I know of. Ended up being, yeah, I think this one's a cracked one. Maybe not. Huh. Yeah, it is. There it is. There's the crack. So I don't think you can fix those, if I'm not mistaken. And then the 2 rims I took off the car. Obviously, this was on the front right. It just totally blasted the tire off of the rim. I think the outside is what's damaged. Yep, got a massive ding on the outside. I don't think they're going to fix that. I don't know that this one's really got any major defects. It was just flat. My DeWalt tire pump was already flashing 1 battery bar at me, and I was like, I'm not gonna bother filling that up. I got 2 tires. We're just gonna. And I got that left one to quit audibly making noises on the spot, so I said, screw it. Anyway, I'm tired. It's been a day, and it's been a bit of a, now that I see that wheel is freaking cocked, that's rather annoying. But what's more annoying is the AC quitting this thing finally. Not that it's ever shown me any signs of issues, other than it's never been the coldest thing ever since I put this engine in the truck, which has been my own fault, because I was young and naive, and I just thought, oh, we'll just do an engine swap, and I swapped the compressor and I swapped the dryer over, the compressor, condenser, and the dryer over, and the lines, I think, because, this AC system worked beautiful in the last truck, and I mean, like, crisp, top tier, golden AC, perfect. This I don't know how many miles this AC compressor has. Fast forward 6 years, I have not changed the filter. The filter was open to the environment for a better part of a week and a half, in super duper 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 humid, nasty conditions while I was doing this engine swap. So, needless to say, that filter was probably, the desiccant filter is probably packed full of moisture. So that probably needs to be replaced anyway, so I'm just going to end up ordering a whole AC compressor kit. I just got to figure out which diameter orifice tube I have, which I don't know. And then I got to order some more AC stuff, like Schrader valves and caps and seals, and I got to order all that stuff. So that was green when I pulled the cap off. I was a little disappointed in that. I was like, oh, what the heck? So, yeah, nothing around there, though, to say that it was leaking past the cap. But either way, the Schrader's got to be leaking. Then I haven't touched this system in 6 years. I've had it evac'd and recharged by a shop. I think I did it, actually, originally. I think I evac'd and recharged with my own little vacuum pump and stuff, and gauges and whatever. But it just wasn't cooling right. And I mean, like, on a day like today where it's like 85 degrees and just humid as balls, not quite as bad, maybe half a ball worth of humid, and it just is like 55, 60 degrees out the vent. It's not great. And it's always been that way for the last 6 years since I put this system in this truck. Again, I think that filter is pretty much full of moisture. Even though, the vacuum evac process should potentially draw out some moisture, I don't think it actually removes all the moisture in the system. Either that or the orifice tube's plugged. I don't know. I'm not in the mood. I'm really not. So anyway, AC quit today, right? I fired up the truck, no AC. I'm like, are you kidding me? But, windows down, it wasn't actually too bad today, so I just ran with it. It's going to be hard to see probably because phones never want to show this stuff. But you can see behind there's some damp, wet looking stuff. And then if I go up underneath the compressor, she let out the goose. So, needless to say, it needs a new compressor. Like I said, I don't know how many miles are on that. I have the one out of this truck. I threw it away because all I had on it was this line. This line. And I kept the line. I don't have the compressor anymore because this line's been off for so many years now. Because I left that line on the condenser, when in reality I should have left the line on there, had both lines on there, and I would have felt much better about testing it out on here, considering the fact that one doesn't work now. It doesn't hold a vacuum, it doesn't hold any pressure, so I shouldn't say that. It held 10 pounds of pressure. That's what was in the system when I hooked up to it. And then, 10 pounds of pressure. Why is that not going on there? That's because that's for the high side. Yep, so that's that. I'm getting a little defeated today. It's been a very expensive day. $80 of fuel in the truck. I got all 3 titles taken care of for the Charger, the Trailblazer, and the F-350 I'm picking up tomorrow. So that's in the works. I got a lot of miles to put on tomorrow. I got to drive all the way up to Foley. It's about an hour away from me. I got to pick Dad up on the way, stop at his house, pick him up, because his truck's here. I drove this down. I have all that stuff in front of the BMW, the jack stands and whatever. I did exhaust manifolds for somebody. But we delivered their truck. Dad gave me a ride back on his motorcycle, and I didn't have a vehicle. It was 10 o'clock at night. I said, I'll just take your truck home. So tomorrow I got to pick him up, drive all the way up to Foley from there, and drive all the way down to St. Paul, and from Foley, pick up the Ford, bring it back here, drop Dad off so he can pick this up. Obviously, we'll be here anyway, but so he can bring his truck home. And then I got to play musical cars. I got to get the trailer out, the Mercedes out, reorganize back there because I want my trailer back where the Mercedes is, where I had it, which is going to be in the way shortly anyway because I'm going to get a dumpster soon. So maybe I'm just going to... I can't yet. I can't. Maybe I'll just move the trailer over here for now. I don't know. Who knows? Anyway, I got to find a place to put the Ford. Otherwise, I just leave it outside. It's been sitting outside anyway. I'll probably just do that. I'll probably just leave it outside for now. I don't really have a spot for it right now because I got a dumpster. I got to clean all that shit out in the back corner, most of the stuff up here, and then I can park the trailer. I'll have a whole nother parking spot back there. Park the trailer, Mercedes, Ford. A Ford will probably go back there if I can get it back there. I mean, it's no power steering on an F-350. I mean, that's going to be heavy and hard to do that. And then the BMW is squatting. I don't know why. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. So I don't know what's going on with that. It'll pump up. But it's like that's probably a leak somewhere in that system. And I really don't want to do rear struts on it right now. That's expensive. Besides the fact that it needs about $1,500 worth of parts just on the engine right now. The main crossover tube front to rear is finally starting to leak out of the weep hole on the front cover. I locked that. Okay. Front cover of the engine. So that's a $800 kit to buy to do that. And then we have the eccentric shaft position sensors that are bad. That is my official diagnosis. I hope I'm right. It kicks into throttle mode randomly. Sometimes I can go a week without a problem. Sometimes I can't go all but down and pull out onto my road and boop, it kicks into throttle mode versus, they call it I guess the people on the forum call it throttle mode. This has a throttle body, all right? But it's not used as a throttle. It is used to control the vacuum. It has 2 motors on each bank, 1 motor on each bank that controls a separate cam. It's dual overhead cam, but it has a 3rd cam on each side. That motor turns that, rotates that cam, and that opens and closes the valve height, which that is your throttle. I'm not going to say it doesn't sound kind of dumb. I can tell you, when it works beautifully. I mean, you are able to control the cylinders so much better than just having one air source, you know. You're able to fine-tune each bank. If that makes any more sense, I don't know. It just is what it is. But right now, it has a mode to where it goes from those motors to using the throttle body to actually be the throttle body and control the throttle. And I think my throttle body's going bad anyway, because watching the throttle position while I'm, like, let's say I'm climbing a hill right now at 30 miles an hour, working my way up to 60. That throttle body, the throttle position sensor, is literally doing this. Not throttle position, this butterfly, it's tracking the movement, and it's doing that. And you can feel the torque of the car. It's just annoying. So throttle body's going bad, and then they say that I don't have any codes. 0. No lights, no nothing. It just kicks into throttle mode. You get less torque, less power, about the same fuel economy, but it runs a little more rough. And then besides the fact that the throttle's bouncing around, and then there's a delayed throttle too off a takeoff from a dead stop. And you're coasting, no problem. But if you're at a dead stop and you need to jump across an intersection, sometimes you can, if you don't do full throttle and you just do like third or half throttle, sometimes it'll freaking just light off like a rocket. It's just nuts. But they say that the eccentric shaft sensors for that, which is that 3rd cam I'm talking about, camshaft, is the eccentric shaft. And it has a position sensor, so the motors know where in rotation those cams are. And those sensors, I think, are going bad. That happens. But they said that the sensors can go bad and not throw codes. It just throws it into a throttle mode. Long story short, or long story long, however you want to look at it. I adjusted the choke on this, which is something I did not do right from the get-go. It's going to sound stupid because I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I'm learning as I'm going. I fiddle, fart, and tinker as I go on these. I'm not a carburetor master. I mean, you get me onto a lawnmower and I can work my way around it okay. But the car, quadrajet, electronic, this, that, I don't control. I don't know, all right? The standard carburetor, sure, that's easy enough, but now you got throttle position sensor, and now you've got whatever other sensor there was on there, I don't remember. And it somehow meters the frickin' fuel at idle and part throttle, but it doesn't make any sense because it runs like shit at idle. Anyway, I've adjusted 1,000,001 things, but I know I played with the choke worked halfway okay, all right? The choke now, and I finally got it down to a science where I could start it anywhere, hot, cold. I know how to start it now. But now I just messed with it again. But, okay, just put it this way. I adjusted the choke hot engine, all right? That's a problem. You're not supposed to do that. Well, what I was noticing is that the choke was still kind of closed with the engine hot. Like not standing up, but like that, or maybe a little more. I wanted it like that. So the car was up to full operating temp. I just took the things loose and rotated the thing until the butterfly went whee, and I was like, okay. And then I noticed that, and this is where I had to learn how to actually frickin' start the thing, because cold, it wasn't wanting to start right. And then hot, or maybe it started fine cold. Yeah, it starts fine cold, but when it's hot, I couldn't hardly get the thing started. What I had to do was hold the throttle all the way down to the floor and then crank it, and then it fires up. Anyway, so now I actually adjusted it cold engine, and it's partly open, just a hair. Like if this is full closed, it's like that, just a titch, right? That's what they were saying, because this is a summer car. It's going to see mostly warm weather, except for when it's in the shed here, which is about 66 degrees in here at the moment. Feels a little bit warmer, probably is. But other than that, cold start. We'll see how it starts hot, because it used to start pretty okay hot. So that's adjusted. I still haven't bought any parts for that. That's $800+. I'm not looking forward to that. For the transmission rear cover, that's cracked. Then I got to do transfer case probably, or transfer case rear cover rebuild, because the bushing for the drive shaft is sloppy. Way too much slop in it. It's causing the rear seal to leak, or the output shaft seal. And then we've got the slip yoke on the drive shaft going into the transfer case. That is hanging up on the shaft of the output shaft of the transfer case. So I got to do a new yoke, get the shaft slop out of the transfer case, and put the rear cover on the transmission. Expensive, expensive, expensive. And I'm trying to make money here, so my own vehicles can wait as much as they can. At some point I will get to this. It's leaking coolant. I'll drive it until it's leaking too bad to drive. That thing I want to fix. I want it out of here. This I want to fix. I want it out of here, but I got to do an engine rebuild. That I need to fix. That I want to use before I sell. That thing I still don't own, and I need to frickin' figure out what I'm doing with that. Then I got an engine for this, but I need a frame for it. And then I'll probably keep it. But anyway, I got to go through an engine for that before I can put an engine in it. Because I know nothing about the engine I bought for it, other than it was $100 and the guy was going to scrap it. And he believes it ran. This thing, I don't know what I'm doing with it. It's probably all for parts. Engine runs great. Tranny's shot. Frame's rusted out bad. And interior's halfway okay. Panels are Minnesota rusts for $230,000 on an 04. Keeping, don't know yet. I got a transmission for this. I gotta get tires for it. The rim's clear coat is really ugly, but yeah, but it needs tires so I can really drive it good. I need new license plates and tabs for that. I need tabs for that. Mercedes, I got parts I need to get for it, and an alignment before I can sell that. And then we got the Ford, which I want to tinker with. Probably buy a used, it's a 6.0 Power Stroke, I know, oh no, but that's what I work on at work. It's because it's an international engine, an Navistar. It's what I'm used to, it's what I work on, so I'm going to tinker with it, see what's actually wrong with it. We'll probably drain some oil out, see if there's metal in it, if it wiped the cam out, or if there's chunks or whatever. From there, if there's nothing in the oil, we'll get a core set of injectors, which aren't cheap. It's about $300 and some odd some of these frickin' crackheads want for core injectors. We'll get core injectors for it, just so we can try and fire the thing. I'll get new O-rings on the oil rails. I gotta get a FICM for it, and I gotta put batteries in it. And then we'll see about getting that. See if we can get it running, or if it wiped the cam out. I don't know. I don't know what the story is. Injectors are out, oil rails are off. Maybe it's got too much rust in the cylinders now. We'll stick the bore cam down in the injector holes, see what we can see, because I don't know any history on it other than that's a bank repo. The thing's pretty frickin' rotten. And we do have a plow. We sold the plow truck we had that the plow came with. Dad thought I could put the plow on here, but I don't want to take my bug guard off, or my brush guard off, and I just don't want it on this truck because it already rakes like this on the front, and I don't want it, dragging ass with the plow on, because that's what the other truck did. The other truck was a 3/4 ton, and you put that plow on, and the front end just went. So the F350, it needs new spring perches, and hell, I might even put airbags on it if I keep it and get it running and whatever. I thought the engine out of that bus, if the engine in the 6.0 is too far gone and I can't get a decent engine cheap to actually work on, because the 6.0 is studded, that's a 7.3 in that bus. I figured maybe I could do a 7.3 and an Allison in the F350, and then use the F350 as the new plow truck, because it's solid front axle, the heavier duty springs, and the hell am I thinking? It's the locking front hubs, and hopefully an actual locking rear end. We'll see. I don't know if that's equipped with that or if it's burnt out. I mean, the truck's probably got almost 300 on it, so I really don't know. The rear end felt like it didn't have a lot of backlash, so I'm hoping the rear end's pretty good in it. But the truck's pretty freaking crusty. I mean, it looks a hell of a lot worse than this thing, and this thing's, I mean, it's missing rockers, and the doors are going to shit. The bed's junk. Frame's good, though. Frame's good. So that's where the money shines. Frame's good. So the Ford's questionable. The bed's completely shot. They put a... I'll show you when I get it, but I mean, it's just shot. I'm pretty much going to pull that bed off so I can put that in the scrap dumpster when I finally get one here. So that's going to be the first thing that's coming off that thing, because it is not usable at all. It is just junk. Besides the fact it's missing a tailgate, so it don't really matter what I do. But oh my gosh, I'm tired. It's been a day. It's been a long day. I've already done over 140 miles today. I ran to Fridley to pick up the cradle from Abco and Fridley, and then I drove home, got it in. I just got tires put on it now. I had to run down and get the title work done at 3 o'clock. Went down in Ramsey's. There's another 40 minutes, and then 40 minutes back, and I mean, I'm tired. But I gotta get the truck prepped yet for tomorrow to haul the trailer and the truck, and borrowing a trailer. It's on my list to get. I need a trailer if I'm going to keep doing this, which I don't know yet. I mean, I love fixing stuff, and I love buying stuff cheap and getting a good deal when I can, and, you know, if I can. I had to borrow a trailer or rent a trailer. I rented a trailer for that, and, well, I rented a trailer for all of them, I guess. Yeah, U-Haul, so, I think. Yeah. Wrong. What did I just tow? Whose trailer did I borrow? Huh. Oh, borrowed my uncle's trailer for this one, which is a light-duty trailer. It's not going to haul the truck. It's only a 7,000-pound gross. And granted, it's an aluminum trailer, but I don't like aluminum and a light-duty, and it's flexing and bouncing going down the road. I just don't like it. Either way, that Ford's going to be too heavy for that trailer anyway. What did I borrowed somebody else's trailer. Huh. Anyway, got a U-Haul for that one. Right? Yes. Yeah. And this one, that one was a general rental trailer. Couldn't tell you whose trailer I borrowed to get that home. That's got my brain racking. I'm trying to figure it out. I borrowed somebody's trailer. I don't know whose. I only know like 3 people with a trailer, and that's not like, no, I don't remember borrowing their trailer for that. Frick, I've already had that thing for almost 2 months now, I think. So I thought I was further behind on payments. Like, I had, not behind, but like I had more to go, and I did the math, and I had already paid off all of them. I was like, oh shit. All right, I need titles for 3 of them now, and I got to pick up the Ford. I've owned the Ford for about a month now, and payment wise, but now it's title done, or I gotta say the title's done. I signed the applications for titles because I bought these cars from a dealership. So I got the application for the title signed. I got temp tags, all that stuff. So all that stuff is done. The price has been paid for title and their title fee. Oh my gosh, that was a kicker. It was a very expensive day, and I mean, like, let's see, almost $1,100 today, because that frickin' frame was almost $400 with their stupid 4% frickin' card fee. If I had cash, but I didn't want to spend the cash. And then the frickin' title shit, that was just ridiculous. But anyway, it is what it is. Life does go on. So anyway, there's lots more updates to be coming. It runs and drives. That's great. Now I have to get the radiator. I've got stuff in my Rock Auto cart. I don't know when I'm going to be able to buy it. Let's see, I got paid this week, not next week. So week after is a good shot, good potential. End of the month, I'll be picking up another vehicle. I'll probably rent a U-Haul for that because I really hate borrowing people's stuff. I offered to pay the guy, I'll rent your trailer. It's like, no, don't worry about it. Just use it. I'm like, okay, thank you. But I'm not a fan of borrowing people's stuff. I want my own. Just for that, anything happen, so U-Haul, there's insurance, so I really don't care, and the next vehicle's small enough to use a U-Haul trailer, so it's just that's 2.5 hours away. It's the only other, so it's a 5-hour round trip plus the time that you're up there, and so but that's the last vehicle I have on my docket to pick up, and that one I might have a buyer lined up for already. My uncle down in Texas called and said somebody needs a car, and he told, just said keep him updated on how the BMW goes, because it's supposed to just have cooling system issues, but we'll see. I don't even know how many miles are on it yet, but it's in very good shape for interior. Exterior's got some dings. Obviously, it's 2007, but BMW X3 all-wheel drive, but we'll see. It'll be interesting. So. Can't wait to get that up and running and driving. I don't like dead vehicles. Granted, everything in here runs and drives now other than the bucket truck. The bucket truck, you got to give a jump start to get it driving because it doesn't have a clutch. So you can get it to go into gear and pop out of gear as long as you're moving. That's the kicker. But it won't shift because it doesn't have a clutch right now. Not that the clutch is bad. The clutch actuator is bad, so it needs a clutch actuator. But then the fork that the clutch actuator moves is broken because the gearbox is shot. So I need the transmission gearbox, it needs a clutch actuator, and the clutch fork, which I don't know if I can get separately. Plus the throwout bearing, because it looks like because there's like a housing that fork is part of that was like part of the throwout bearing or something, and that whole housing is just... Something in the gearbox may have tried to combine gears where it shouldn't have, and something went up, and yeah. So it is what it is. Anyway, very expensive eating junk, I can tell you that. So it's on my docket to get a trailer. It's on my docket to get that fixed, and right now I need a nap and I need a vacation. I need a lot more money. That would help too. It would help to get these projects done, make some money. So, but this is hopefully my biggest ticket item in here. Unfortunately, I'm already at Blue Book on that, just that engine. And then I got to buy a rebuild kit for the engine and put that in there. And then I'll have a running and driving Tahoe, Denali, Yukon, whatever. But then... what else does it need? It needs a rear air compressor because it doesn't exhaust. It does pump, but doesn't exhaust. Probably needs an alignment. Tires are okay at the moment. They're good for summer. Probably AC probably needs a go through, recharge, all that stuff. Not a big deal. But yeah, I'm already at Blue Book value on that. So, but it's going to be right when it leaves here. So that's the main thing. But this one, there should hopefully be room for profit. Like I said, the next step's getting it to the body shop, getting an estimate on that if need be. We'll see what they say. And hopefully it doesn't. It just needs a good alignment. Hopefully. I'm not going to do the sketchy. I'm not going to have it wearing tires. That's just dumb, right? So, and I got to buy tires for it too. I forgot about that. I got to buy matching set of tires since it's all-wheel drive. I can't have this unless they're all the same tread depth, which I kind of doubt. But yeah, as long as the body, the framework, if need be, is cheap enough, not over the top, then I can continue on doing the next step after that. This is after cooling and power steering and all that stuff, just to get it running and driving. After that, it is doing airbags. I got to replace the entire dashboard to do the passenger side airbag. And then I got the driver's airbag, the knee bolsters, the side curtains, seatbelt tensioners. Yeah. That'll be fun. But AC does have charge, so I got to hope I can straighten that condenser out enough to get it made up to the new radiator and get the lower core support lined up, all that good stuff. Yeah, but those are flexible enough. I should be able to do it without hopefully poking a hole. I don't know how toxic 1234YF is, and I do not have a machine for that, so hopefully that goes well. Because I'm sure that ain't cheap, because I know for damn sure the machine ain't cheap. We just bought this guy right there, that machine for R34, 134, sorry. And that was expensive enough. And add another $2,000-$3,000 on top of it for the 1234YF. That's just ass. So anyway, yeah. So I'm just glad it's sitting on its own. That is the big thing, the big ticket. I'm happy it's sitting on its own. It runs, it drives. Didn't check transmission because I couldn't freaking run it with the oil pan. So, and then I got the subframe to actually make it worthwhile putting back together a little bit. I just wanted it sitting on its own. If I need the hoist, I can move it off. So that's where my goal was for today. So, because it's been up there for 3 weeks now, in pieces. So now it's not in pieces. It's just not put together tight, which I don't care. I really don't right now. So anyway, like I said, stay tuned for more updates. There's going to be more updates. There's always more. I got plenty of shit to do around here. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. God bless.